Have you ever had that feeling? Like your deepest affections, they're being pulled,
Yeah.
maybe subtly, in a couple of different directions. You know it should be number one, right? But something else just keeps demanding your best energy, your focus.
Yeah, I think we all feel that pull sometimes.
Well, today we're going to do a deep dive into something really profound. And honestly, maybe a bit unsettling. It's from ancient wisdom, the prophet Hosea's message.
That's right.
It talks about spiritual unfaithfulness, but uses this incredibly strong image, a spirit of prostitution.
And our mission, really, in this depth dive is to unpack how that ancient warning, specifically from Hosea chapters 4 through 12, how it speaks like directly to us right now.
Right.
This isn't just some dusty history lesson. It's about learning to spot this deep, often unseen spiritual influence that can actually lead our hearts astray.
Even when we think we're being smart or making, good choices.
Especially then, sometimes. We're looking for those subtle currents, the ones pulling us off course, almost without us noticing.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's go back. Ancient Israel, Northern Kingdom, what's the scene?
Okay, so the key thing to grasp is these people had a direct covenant with God, a really solemn agreement.
The foundation of everything for them.
Absolutely. But then the kingdom splits. And the kings up north, they make this huge forbidden decision. They basically outlaw worship down in Jerusalem.
Which God had specifically established as the place.
Exactly. So to counteract that pull towards Jerusalem, these kings, they set up their own altars, places like Dan and Bethel.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets tricky. At first, you might think, okay, maybe this is just convenient, worship Jehovah closer to home.
Makes sense on the surface.
But subtly, almost without anyone noticing at first, these altars, they became gateways, not just to different worship, but eventually full-blown idolatry.
Wow. So a convenience turning into a corruption. That's something.
It is.
So Israel starts looking around, yeah. They see the pagan nations. Maybe they look successful.
And they start thinking, hey, maybe their gods, their methods, maybe they work better.
So they shift. They turn away from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
The God who literally saved them from slavery in Egypt.
Right. And they start chasing after these man-made gods, hoping for, what, rain, good crops, protection.
All the immediate, tangible stuff, prosperity, fertility, security. They basically forgot the one who had given them everything in the first place, their deliverer.
And God's response, his judgment.
It wasn't just about what they were doing, it was about the heart behind it. He says, and this is the key phrase, a spirit of prostitution leads them astray.
That imagery is just, wow.
It's incredibly powerful. Because it's not just a metaphor for being unfaithful. It paints this picture of a sacred promise, a covenant being completely broken, like a marriage vow shattered.
Israel's heart had just wandered off.
Exactly. Wandered from the one who redeemed them, who gave them their identity, who brought them into that promised land. It was deep disloyalty. And it's really fascinating here is that phrase, spirit of prostitution. It's not just like symbolic language for infidelity.
I mean, it's more literal.
Well, it speaks to a genuine, unseen spiritual influence, a force, if you will, that actively works on people.
To do what?
To get them to seek their satisfaction, their identity, their ultimate hope from anything and anywhere except God. Look at the Israelites. They wanted a God for this, a God for that, rain, crops, kids, safety. They thought they could sort of outsource different needs to different powers.
The compartmentalizing.
Exactly. But the thing about the Lord, the God of Israel, is he doesn't share his glory. He is meant to be their all-sufficient source, everything.
So it wasn't just that they stumbled or didn't understand. It sounds more like an intentional choice, driven by this desire.
A desire deep down, yeah. To belong to many gods, maybe?
Yeah.
Instead of giving their whole heart, their whole allegiance to the one true God who had chosen them.
Who was actually enough for them.
Who was enough, but it taps into that very human thing, doesn't it? That urge for control, for predictability.
Yeah. When God's way feels slow or uncertain, we just grasp for something tangible, something we think we can manage.
Right. Other sources seem to offer that illusion of control, that immediate fix, that maybe trust in God doesn't always give on our timeline.
Okay, that historical picture is really clear. But let's bridge the gap. We don't usually have, golden calves sitting in our living rooms today.
Not usually, no.
So how does this spirit of prostitution, how does it actually show up in our lives right now?
It's incredibly subtle. That's the danger. In our time, often in ways that are perfectly socially acceptable,
Wow.
many believers, maybe without even realizing it, consult what the world simply calls wisdom. but it's wisdom from a different source.
And it often looks harmless, right?
Totally innocuous sometimes. Think about it. Instead of really digging into God's word or seeking the Holy Spirit's guidance, what do we see? People turning to things like, say, tarot cards, or getting really into their horoscopes, numerology, or even obsessing over personality tests, using them to define themselves, or checking ancient Chinese zodiac signs to make big decisions.
Decisions about what?
Relationships, careers, their core identity. Who am I? What should I do?
Okay, but hang on. Things like personality tests, or even horoscopes for some people, isn't that sometimes just like self-discovery, or even just harmless fun? How do you know when it crosses the line?
That's a really crucial question, because the tool itself might seem neutral, but the danger, the root of it, isn't the tool, it's the desire behind using it.
What desire?
The desire to maybe bypass God, to get guidance or insight or comfort or direction from another source, any other source. And in the Lord's eyes, that's the spiritual unfaithfulness, when his own people look to the world or these other systems for their core answers, for their identity, for direction. It's like a spouse looking outside the marriage for intimacy, for fulfillment.
So the covenant gets broken. Maybe not in some big outward action.
Not always, but broken in the heart, in where you place your affection, your trust. That's where the shift happens. And this leads us right into another really rich scriptural idea, the bride of Christ.
Right. When we receive Jesus, the Bible talks about us becoming his bride.
Consistently. And it's not just, pretty poetry. It signifies a covenant, a deep bond of love, yes, but also unwavering faithfulness and complete exclusivity.
It's beautiful, but it's also kind of a high bar. It really highlights how easily our affections can just drift, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. We pour our best energy into careers, right? Chasing the next promotion, the bigger salary.
Or into relationships, even really good ones, our kids, our spouse, but making them the ultimate source of our joy or identity.
Exactly. Or we obsess over getting that degree or having material security, that perfect house.
Things that aren't bad in themselves, which makes it even trickier, doesn't it? More insidious.
It does, and this raises that important question. These things, career, family, education, security, they aren't inherently evil, are they?
No, of course not. God gives us good gifts.
Far from it. But when they start to take the throne of our hearts, when they become the main focus, our ultimate devotion, our security blanket, the thing we think about most, chase after hardest.
That's when they become idols.
That's it. It's not about what you do so much as what you truly love the most, where your deepest allegiance lies.
Wow. Okay, so it's about love, not just action. That feels...
Yeah, much more internal, much more subtle than I first thought.
It is.
And the tragedy, then, is that maybe many Christians, we don't even realize the Spirit is working in us.
I think that's often true. We can be doing all the right things, going to church, singing the songs, praying prayers that sound good. But deep down, somewhere inside, we might actually be loving something or someone else more than we truly love Jesus. It's like this silent erosion happening.
Yeah, a silent erosion. Precisely. And when our love gets divided like that, our hearts, spiritually speaking, become adulterous.
And that has consequences.
It inevitably invites spiritual consequences, yes. That sweetness, that intimacy with Christ, it starts to fade. And this creeping dissatisfaction starts to set in.
That phrase, creeping dissatisfaction, that really hits home. It's not usually a sudden crash, is it? It's more like this slow leak of joy that's hard to even put your finger on.
Exactly.
And we start wondering, why does my faith feel so empty or stale? When the hard truth might be, like Jeremiah says, we've been trying to drink from broken cisterns, things that can't hold water, instead of from the living fountain, which is God himself.
It's like trying to quench a deep thirst with, a sieve, like you said. It just doesn't work.
But it's not all doom and gloom, right? Hosea's message?
No, absolutely not. The warning is sharp, yes, but it's also fundamentally an invitation, a profound one.
An invitation to what?
To return. God longs for his people, his bride, to come back to him. The whole heart this time, undivided. It's a powerful call to restoration, not just condemnation.
That reminds me so much of Revelation chapter 2, where Jesus is speaking to the church in Ephesus.
Yes.
And he says, despite all their good deeds, you have forsaken the love you had at first.
Such a searching word.
It really makes you stop and ask, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have we wandered, maybe not, physically run away from God, but as we wandered in our devotion, in the depth, the purity of our love for him, have we lost that initial fire?
It's the crucial question for us today, isn't it? It's a call to really examine our own hearts. honestly.
To ask.
Have we let other loves just subtly creep in? Have they started occupying the primary place in our affections, maybe without us even fully realizing it?
Have we given our best time, our best energy, our deepest affection to things that ultimately they just can't satisfy that deepest longing?
Right, because they never will. This spirit of prostitution, it's incredibly subtle. It often hides behind good desires, good things. But the Spirit of God, He is faithful. He will reveal what's hidden in our hearts if we genuinely ask Him to show us.
Okay, so pulling all this together, this deep dive into Hosea's warning, what's the core message Jesus is really trying to get across to us through this? What does it all boil down to for us today?
I think it boils down to this. Jesus doesn't want just a part of us. He asks for all of us.
Our whole heart.
Our whole heart. He gave everything for us, didn't he? And he desires that full devotion in return. And it's not, because he's insecure or needy. It's because he knows that only in him, only in that place of full surrender and love will we find true joy, real purpose, lasting peace. Nothing else, nothing can ultimately fill that God-shaped space within us.
So the call then is, be courageous. Let's really look inside and tear down every single hidden idol. Those things, even good things, that have subtly taken his rightful place on the throne of our hearts.
Yes, tear them down and maybe shift our focus. Instead of just running after his blessings or his promises or his gifts, which are wonderful, of course.
Right.
Let's run after him, the promiser himself, the giver, the source of every good thing. Let him be the prize.
Because ultimately, we are not our own. We are his.
We belong to him.
Wow. This deep dive, really digging into Hosea's warning, it shows such a profound truth. That unfaithfulness to God, it can show up in these really subtle, very modern ways.
Yeah.
Often hiding in our misplaced affection, even for seemingly good things in our lives.
Yeah.
It really challenges you to look beneath the surface, doesn't it?
It really does. So maybe as you continue to reflect on this, just consider, how might that idea of drinking from broken cisterns, seeking satisfaction from sources that just can't truly fulfill, how might that be playing out in your own daily life, your pursuits?
Yeah.
And then, what might it look like to consciously, actively choose the living fountain instead in your decisions, maybe even just this week? What's one small, intentional step you could take, perhaps even today, to just recenter your deepest affections on Jesus, on what truly matters eternally?